Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to SPOTO's sharing class. And this class we will learn about the BGP Advertisement Principle. Okay, so first thing is please follow us on the Facebook and YouTube. You can just need to search the CCIE Club on the Facebook and search the SPOTO on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us. We will continue to provide some free live course and some new information about the Cisco certificate. And also we have a WhatsApp group here. This is the link. You can use this link to join this group. In this group, we have different students from all around the world, and we have SPOTO's teacher in this group. So you can discuss your question with other students, and also our teacher will provide you some new information, okay? So please follow us and join this link. Okay, so last week, we just talked about the basic knowledge of the BGP protocol, and we have learned what's the BGP protocol. And in BGP protocol, we have two different neighbor relationship and how to configure it. So in this week, we're going to talk about the BGP Advertisement Principle. In this week, we can discuss three parts. The first one is after we establish the BGP neighbor relationship, how to advertise route in BGP protocol. And the second part is the BGP protocol, we have different advertisement principle. And the last one is how to configure it to let the router can advertise the route successfully. Okay? So next we are going to start our this time's sharing class. First of all, we do a little review about our last class. So first of all, we know that the BGP protocol is used between different AS. So in this situation, we can see here we have three different AS, and this one is AS 100, and we have three different routers here. And in this area, we need to run the IBGP protocol at first. So in this area, we need to configure the OSPF protocol at first. And IBGP protocol is used to discover and calculate the route. So in this area, the RTA, B, and C will calculate the route and generate the routing table. And between the different AS, we will use the BGP protocol. The BGP protocol is used to transmit and control the route between different AS. Also, we just said for the different protocols, if we want to use this, at first we need to establish the neighbor relationship between different routers, such as OSPF and ISIS, and BGP is same. So in BGP protocol, we have two different neighbor relationship. The first one is the IBGP. We can see here between RTD and RTB, if they are in the different AS, so they will establish the IBGP neighbor relationship. And if RTB and RTC, they are in the same AS, so they will establish the IBGP neighbor. And in BGP protocol, a very important point is BGP relationship based on the TCP connection. So BGP neighbor relationship can be established across multiple devices. Okay, so that's all the points about our last week's live class. So if you missed the last week's live class, you can find the record video on our SPOTO's YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so next one is after we successful to establish the neighbor relationship. So in this topology, we can see here we have RTC and RTB. So at first, we need to establish the IBGP neighbor between RTB and RTC. And the next part, we want to advertise the route to RTB. So RTB can send the route to RTC. So we can see this here. The command is we need to in the configuration of RTC, we need to neighbor the RTB, and then we can see here we might see the configuration of the RTB. First of all, enable the BGP protocol and enable the RTC. And the next part we can see here we need to advertise the route. If we want RTC can learn this route information, so in this situation we need to advertise the route. The command is the network, this network segment with its own mask. Okay, so that's the configuration about the network route into BGP protocol. So we can see here, maybe it's very familiar with OSPF or ISIs, but the truth is no. In BGP protocol, if we want to advertise the route, it's different between IGP and the BGP. So next part, we will show what's the difference. And then we can see here, after we do the configuration, we can see the RTB will send this route to RTC. So RTC can learn this route, and we can see here RTC can learn this 3 routes from RTB. So first of all, we need to know that this command is sorry, this one is not right. The command is show IP BGP. We can use this command to check the BGP routing table. So we need to know that the BGP routing table just like the LSDB of the link state protocol. So it means when RTB sends this route to RTC, at first RTC will save the BGP route into the BGP routing table. BGP routing table, and the next one, if this route is best and valid, so RTC will put this BGP route into its normal routing table. So in this situation, we first use this command show IP BGP to check the BGP neighbor, and we can find RTC can learn the route from RTB. So in this situation, when we try to advertise the route, so we have 2 points here. First of all, if you want to advertise the route, you need to ensure this route is already in your IGP protocol. So we can see here, we use the command show IP route to check RTB's routing table. So we can see here, we already have these 3 routes in RTB's routing table. So we can advertise this route from RTB to RTC. So just like we talked the BGP protocol last week, BGP protocol can't discover and create the route. It can just transmit and control the route. So it means it can just transmit the route which is already in its IGP protocol. So it's very important. I mean, in this situation, you can't advertise the route 1.1.1.1, which is not in RTB's routing table to RTC. Okay, so this is the first point. And then next one, if you try to advertise the route, you must ensure your command is the same with the IP routing table. So it means you can see here, in RTB, this routing entry is 10.1.12.0 with mask length is 24. So if you want to advertise this route, you can use the command the neighbor. My neighbor is network. Sorry, we use the command network, and the network. This network segment is 10.1.12.0 and with the mask length. So in this command, we can just set the mask length is 24. The mask length in our command must be same in the routing table. Okay, so you can't use the command. Maybe you change the mask to 20 to 16. No, you can't configure like this. You can just configure the command with the mask length is same with the routing table. So when we try to use this command to advertise the route to our BGP neighbor, first of all, we need to enable this route is already in our IGP routing table. And the next one, the network segment must be same in our routing protocol, in our routing table, sorry. Okay, so when we try to advertise the route, we need to remember this. But in BGP protocol, when we try to advertise the route, it's not the same to the IGP protocol, because in IGP protocol, we just advertise the network segment on RTA. So RTA will send it to RTB, and RTB can receive it. It's very simple. But in BGP protocol, we have multiple BGP protocol advertisement principle to learn. So next, we need to know what's this advertisement principle. Okay, the first one is only advertise the best route to neighbors. As we just said, for BGP protocol, it has a BGP routing table. So only the best route and valid route in the BGP routing table, the router can save this route to the routing table. And also, the router can just advertise the best and the valid route to the neighbor. And we can see this in RTD's routing table. We can see here the routing table actually has 3 different routing entries. And for these 3 different routing entries, we can see here, if this routing entry with this symbol, it means it's valid. So in this situation, if the next hop is unreachable, so this route will be not valid. Okay, so if the route is normal, so the route will be valid. And then we can see here, in this route with the destination is 100.0.0.0, and we have 2 next hop, so we need to select one best path from this route. As we see, we select the first route. So the first route will have a symbol with this one. So this symbol means this route is best. So RTD will just advertise this route to its neighbor. So we can see here, RTE can just receive this route from RTD. RTD will not advertise this one, just this one, because this one is the best. And also this one, we can see here with the destination is 1200.0. So this route, we have this symbol, it means it's valid, and this symbol means it's best. So this is the first advertisement principle. The BGP protocol will just advertise the best routes to the neighbor. And the next part is, if the router receives the route from the IBGP neighbor, so it will advertise it to all its BGP neighbor. So we can see here, in this situation, RTA and RTB, they are in the different AS. RTA is in AS100 and RTB is in AS200. So between RTB and RTA, they are the IBGP neighbor. And the RTA, we can advertise this route, use the command network 100.0.0.0, mask length is 24, and then RTA will advertise this route to RTB, because for RTA this route is valid and best, and then RTB will receive this route from the IBGP neighbor. So we need to remember this principle. If RTB receives the neighbor from the IBGP neighbor, so RTB will advertise this route to its IBGP neighbor. You can see here, RTC and RTB, they are in the same AS, so they are the IBGP neighbor, and RTB will advertise it to RTC. Also, RTB and RTD, they are in the different AS. RTB is in AS 1200 and RTD is in AS 300. So RTB will also advertise it to IBGP. So we can see here, from IBGP, and RTB will advertise it to IBGP and EBGP. So we can see here, from the BGP routing table, we can see RTB can learn the route, is this route from RTB. The next hop is RTB's this this interface. Sorry, it's RTS, this interface. And the next one is when RTB send it to RTD. So the next hop is this interface. And we can see here in this situation, if RTB receive a route from the IBGP and then it will send it to the IBGP, it will not change the next hop. So we can see here, when RTC receives the route from RTB, the next hop is still RTA. But when RTD receives the route, the next hop is RTB. Also, this point we need to remember that if we advertise the route to our IBGP neighbor, we won't change the next hop. But if we advertise the route to our IBGP neighbor, we will change the next hop to myself. So the next hop is RTB here. Okay, so we also need to remember this and remember the second advertisement principle. Okay, so this is the second, and the next one is about the IBGP protocol. So last one we just said if you receive the route from the IBGP, you need to advertise it to all the BGP neighbor. So if you receive a route from the IBGP neighbor, you can't advertise it to all your BGP neighbor. Okay, so we need to know that it means in this situation, we can see here, IBC, they are in the same as 100, and in RTL, we have a network segment. So we need to establish the IBGP neighbor between the ABC, and RTL will advertise this route to RTB, and also RTL will advertise this route to RTC. In this situation, we can see here, RTB can receive the route from RTA. So this is the advertisement principle. If the BGP route receives the route information from the IBGP neighbor, it won't advertise it to the IBGP neighbor. So in this situation, RTB will not send the route to RTC, and also RTC will not send the route to RTB. It's very, very important principle because in BGP protocol, we will use this principle to prevent the loop. We can see here, if we have one topology just like this, we have 4 routers. They are connected like this one, and they are in the same, as this is the A, B, C, D. If we have one network segment is network 1 here. So if RTA sends the route to RTB, and the RTB can send it to RTD and continue, D send to C, and C send it to A. In this situation, we will have a loop in our BGP network. So it's very, so this question is very serious. We can't let the loop happen. So we use this advertisement principle to break the loop. So we can see here, if we have this principle, it means we can't let the RTB advertise this route to RTD. Okay, so it means if RTB receives the route from the IBGP neighbor, it can't advertise it to RTD, and also RTA advertise this route to RTC. RTC can't advertise this route to RTD. First of all, we can see here, if we have this advertisement principle, we won't let the loop happen. Yes, but we still have one question. How can RTD learn route information from RTA? Because C and B can't advertise this route information to RTD. So in this situation, if we want RTD can still learn the route information normally, we also need to establish the IBGP neighbor between A and D. So let's select another color. So between A and B, we need to establish the IBGP neighbor, and between A and C, we need to establish the IBGP neighbor. So between B and D and C and D, they are the same. But with this advertisement principle, we can't let D learn the route normally, so we still need to let A and D establish the IBGP neighbor. And also for this one, if we have one network segment in RTB, so if we want RTB can send this route to RTC, we also need to establish the IBGP neighbor between B and C. So in this advertisement principle, first of all, we need to know that it's used to prevent loop, but if we want the route can be advertised normally in our BGP network, we need to establish the full mesh between the routers. So we need to establish the BGP neighbor relationship with each other. In this situation, actually, we have a large number of the BGP neighbor relationship, and we know that we can use the route reflector to solve this problem. So we will learn it in our SPOTO's next sharing class. Okay, so in this class, we just talk about the advertisement principle. You need to know why we have this principle, and if we have this principle, we need to use the full mesh to solve these problems. Okay, so this is about the third advertisement principle. Okay, so for the next part is the last advertisement principle. It's about the synchronization. And in this topology, we can see here, actually we have three different routers. And for this we have three different AS, and in these three different AS, for AS 200 we have B, C, D, and RTA and RTE, they are in AS 100 and AS 300. And in the AS 100, we have a network segment is this network segment. So we want this route can be advertised through A and B, and RTB can advertise this route to RTD. In the last class, we just talked, we can establish the neighbor relationship between RTB and RTD. So RTB can directly send the route to RTD. So in this situation, RTB will send the route to RTD, and RTD will continue to send this route to RTE. In this situation, we can see here the advertisement of the route is successful, but we can't send that to RTA. So we can find it here. About the route advertisement, first of all, RTA will send the route to RTB. So when RTB receives it, we need to know that the next hop of this route is RTD. So RTB will send the route to RTB, and RTB receive the route. It can check the destination is RTD. It's in the AS it's in the AS 200. So we have run the OSPF protocol, and RTC can know the destination RTD. So RTC can forward this packet to RTD. And when RTD receive it, it needs to advertise this route to its IBGP neighbor, to RTE. So finally, ITE can receive the route information about this network segment is network 1. So we can see here the network segment is advertisement successfully, because in RTB, the next hop of this route is RTD, so RTC can forward it. But when RTE try to send the packet to RTA, a problem will happen. So RTE will send the packet to RTA, but the destination, we need to know that this packet with the destination is network 1 is 100.0.0.1. 0. So when RTD receives the packet, it will check the destination IP address. Then RTD finds the destination is network 1. We know that RTD has received this route information. So RTD will check, if I want to go to the network 1, I need to send the packet to RTB. So RTD try to send the packet to RTB. But in this topology, we just have the IBGP neighbor relationship between B and D. We don't have a physical connection between B and D. So RTD needs to send this packet to RTC. So when RTC receives it, a problem will happen because this packet, the destination is network 1. So when RTC receives the IP packet, at first RTC will check the destination of this packet. And we know that RTC will in RTC we don't configure the BGP protocol. So RTC don't have the route information about this network segment. So RTC check the destination, and RTC can't find the destination of its own routing table. So RTC will discuss this route. Okay, so in this situation, we can find if we just establish the BGP neighbor relationship like this situation, we can let the route be advertisement successful, but we can't let the DAT can be forwarded successful because when RTC receives the DAT, there's no route to this network segment in RTC's routing table. So RTC don't know how to go to this network segment. So RTC will discuss it. Okay. So this is called the synchronization. It means when RTD receives the route from RTB, RTD will first check it. RTD will first check this network segment about network 1, whether RTD can find it in the IGP protocol. So if RTD can find it in IGP protocol, so RTD can send it to IBGP neighbor. If the RTD can't find the network information in the IGP protocol, so RTD will not send it to the RTE. So it's called the synchronization. So we need to know that we need to synchronize the route information between the IGP protocol and the EGP protocol. Okay. So that's about the last advertisement principle. If the IGP and the EGP is synchronized, so I can advertise this route. If IGP and EGP is not synchronized, I will not advertise this route. Okay, so we can just use the command of the synchronization in the BGP protocol to enable and enable this function. Okay. So next part, I will use a little lab to show you how to advertise the route in the BGP protocol. Okay. So I will use our spotoers cloud. So in this situation, so at first, we can find here in this topology. In this topology, actually, we just need to use these 4 routers, and for these routers, R1, R2, and R3, they are in AS100, and R4 is in AS200. So it means R2 and R4, R3 and R4, they are the IBGP neighbor, and I have already established the IBGP neighbor between R1 and R2 and R1 and R3. So next, the next part, we try to network the R4's loopback interface into the BGP protocol so that R1 can learn the routing information. So at first, for the R4, we can see the configuration. there is the show run section BGP. Okay, so we can see this in this situation. I have advertised this route. So at first we let this route. So route BGP with the AS number is 200, and I try to remove this command. Okay, so first, when you try to advertise the route, we need to check the BGP neighbor relationship at first. So I use the command to do show IP BGP summary. We can see that RT4 has already established the BGP neighbor with R2 and R3. And the next one, I try to check the IP routing table of R4 here. So I can use the command show IP, do show IP route. And you can find it. This is the routing table of R4. I want R4 can advertise this route to R1. In this situation, we can see here this network segment is the loopback interface of R4, and the loopback interface with the mask length is 32. So we just talk about the command network. When you try to network the route into BGP protocol, first you need to ensure this route are already in the IGP protocol, and the next one you need to ensure the command is the same with the IGP protocol. So I can show you here. First of all, we can use the command network. So maybe you want to advertise another route that's like 4.1.1.1, and with the mask is this one. Sorry, not this one. That's like network 3.3.3 with the mask length is in this situation. When we try to advertise the route, we must advertise the command with the same mask length. So we can see here we need to use the command 4.4.4.4, and with the mask length is 32. And in this situation, if you try to configure the command with the mask length is 24, so you will find it's the incorrect network or mask length configured, because we can find this for this network segment in the IP routing table, the mask length is 32. So we also need to create this mask length to 32. So before we do this configuration, we can check it. We can check the R1 here. First of all, we can check R1's IP BGP routing. So we can see here in R1, we can't learn the routing information about R4, and also we can check the R2's BGP routing table. Show IP BGP. So you can see this, we can't learn this network, and the next one, we try to advertise this route in R4. So the command is this one. We just need to check the mask length, change it to the 32. So after we do this command, we can see here, first of all, we check the IP BGP route of R2. We can see here, R2 can receive the route 4.4.4.4 from R4, and we can see this route is best and valid. So according to the first advertisement principle, R2 can advertise the route which is best and valid to its BGP neighbor. And the next part is if R2 receives the route from R4, so R2 will advertise it to all its BGP neighbors. So R2 will advertise it to R1. And then next part, we also need to check the R3 here. So IP BGP. So we can see here R2 and R3 are the same. It can receive the route from R4, and according to the BGP Advertisement Principle, the first one and the second one. So the R3 will also send it to R1. And then when R1 receive it, we can see here, use the route show IP BGP. We can receive the route information about 4.4.4.4 with the mask length is 32 here. Actually, R1 can receive two same routes from R2 and R3. We can see here the next hop is 2.2.2.2 and 3.3.3.3. In this situation, the R1 will use the path algorithm to calculate which one is the best route. So in this situation, we can see here, R1 think the route from R2 is the best. So this route has this symbol. So in this situation, we can see here R1 receive the BGP route from R2 and R3. They are the IBGP neighbor. So in the advertisement principle, R1 will not advertise the route to its another IBGP neighbor. So we can use a command to check it. So IPBGP 4.4.4.4. We can see here for this route, even if R1 can receive the route from R2 and R3, but we can see here, this is the two available route. The best one is the first route, but the R1 will not advertise it to any peer because according to the third BGP advertisement principle, if the router receives the route from the IBGP neighbor, it will not advertise it to all its IBGP neighbor. Okay, that's all the configuration about this class. And then next one, we can do a little summary. So in the BGP protocol, if you want to advertise the route, you can use the command. But first of all, you need to ensure your configuration is right. Pay attention to the mask length of the route. And after we do the configuration, so the router will send the BGP information to the peers. So when the routers receive the BGP routes from the neighbor, so first of all, the BGP router will use the path selection algorithm to select the path and calculate and save the route to its BGP routing table. So this is the first of all, we'll save the route to the BGP routing table. And in the BGP routing table, and we talk about we have multiple advertisement route. So first of all, if this route is valid and the best, so the router will save it to the IP routing table. So if this route is not valid, so it will not save it to the IP routing table, and also it will not advertise it to its peer. And the next one, we just talk about the next advertisement principle from the eBGP, from the IBGP, and also we need to check the synchronization. So if this route can be advertised to the other routers, so the router will advertise this route from its BGP routing table to another BGP router. So when another router receives it, it will check it and use the path selection according to the advertisement principle to select the route. Okay, so that's all for our today's sharing class. In this class, we mainly talk about the 4 BGP advertisement principle. The first one, only the best, and the second one is the eBGP, the third one is the IBGP, and the next one is the synchronization. Actually, it's just the second part of our SPOTO's free live class, talk about the BGP protocol. And then next class, we will continue to talk about the BGP protocol. We need to know how can the BGP protocol select the route. So just like in this path, how can the BGP protocol use the algorithm to select the path, and how can we to use the attribute to control the path. So I will show you how to use it in the next week's live in the next week's sharing class. Okay, so that's all for our this week's live class. And so the last thing is remember the certificate time. So save your time, take your time to book the exam and get your CCIE certificate. And don't forget to follow us on the YouTube and SPOTO. If you missed the live class, you can find the recorded video on this website. And also we will provide you some free information. And the next one is our WhatsApp link. You can use this link to join our SPOTO's WhatsApp group. So thank you, and in the next week's the same time, I hope I can see you again. So bye bye.